This is a Bruce Wayne Rescue tarp. It's gonna come in this packaging, and you're gonna have a tarp and all the rigging you need for flat terrain inside this bad boy. The outer mailer can just come off, or you can leave it in there if you'd like. And on the inside, you're gonna have the rigging, some instructions, and the tarp and 2 cords. Super compact, obviously, super small. Let me show you how to use it. If you get a little hole, it will lose its vacuum seal, and you can re-vacuum seal it at a butcher shop. They have packaging like this, and you just shoop, and then it'll get really small, tight, and waterproof. So you're gonna put the print side down. Believe it or not, the print side is more slippery than the white side. Next, you're gonna use these for the top and the bottom. Oh, and it goes through that sleeve. See, it's on the diagonal. So turn it just a little bit. Yep, there you go. So just like a tent pole, shove it through there. Yep. This cord is 26 feet of super, super strong, despite how thin it is, Dyneema cord. It's gonna come unlooped, and so you can rig it however you'd like. And what I'd like to recommend is you tie it together with a double fisherman's knot. If you don't know a double fisherman's knot, you can Google that one pretty easily. But this is really slippery cord. A knot like the double fisherman with a nice long tail is kind of what you want to use. That's not going to slip. So now you have this long loop. You clove hitch, loop, same loop again, second loop behind the first loop, and you slide that over the pull shaft. And then you're going to go this, let's just say this will be the feet. We want to have a little bit of a grab loop for tending it through technical terrain or side hilling. Another clove hitch. Cinch that down. Okay. So then you get your person in the center. Josh is 6'1", and his feet are able to be fully in the tarp, laying perfectly flat. If you had padding, you could put it under them. If you had a emergency Mylar blanket, you'd want to put that on them as well, and that can really trap a lot of heat, which is a big concern with somebody that's laying on the snow that's injured. Their core body temperature is going to drop pretty quickly, and that's why we do this wrap. So you can see that you're going to have one wing over that way and one wing over this way. And then these strings are going to crisscross, making an X, and we're going to again clove hitch the shovel shaft at the head here. So loop, loop, pass it over, and we want to make this snug to keep those wings tight around Josh. And then loop, loop, pass that over. Okay, and so that's basically it. And so now we're ready to drag. And I don't necessarily want to pull with my fingers because this super strong skinny cord is really thin. I want to put my backpack in between me and the pulling. So, but for now, let's just give this a tug. You ready, Josh? The real beauty of this Tyvek is it's really slippery. So the friction coefficient against the snow is very low. So if there was no friction, I could pull a 2,000 pound mass if there was zero friction. And because there's very, very low friction, I can pull a full adult male that's 6'1" super easily. And other materials have higher friction coefficients, and that's why this is so awesome. Pretty simple, hey?
Definitely.
I mean,
yeah.
The tarp's going to come with this Kevlar cord that's really strong given its size, and this is going to be used to wrap around the person to keep them inside the burrito. Okay, we don't want the meat to slide out of the burrito. If you want to keep the person in even more secure inside the tarp, you can use a triple link sling or some other cord to go from the shovel shaft around and under their armpits to the other shovel shaft. Girth hitch the shovel shaft here around his armpits and then back to this shovel shaft. I can do a girth hitch here. Something like that, and then I can micro adjust the size to his armpits with a knot like that. Okay, and that's just going to keep him inside the burrito a little bit better. Now we'll put the wings on him. Okay, so then again, loop, loop, second behind the first, and slide it down. Okay, I'm going to pull it tight and then pull that tight. I think I'm just going to double it here, and I'm going to try to get it under his hips and around to the top. So do you want to kind of bump your... Okay, and then we'll keep it super simple and just do a shoelace knot, bow tie. And we'll double knot that. Obviously, you can experiment with that and see what works for you. And so, this type of rigging would be more for if you're side hilling or if you're going down. And if you are going downhill, you want to keep the victim's head uphill, because if they're facing downhill and their head's downhill, the blood's going to rush to their head. It's very uncomfortable, very unsettling for your patient. So as you can, keep their head uphill. If it's undulating terrain, you just have to make a judgment call of which direction is going to be more uphill for their head. Use other cord in here as well for keeping them more secure, but the tarp will come with the baseline rigging supplies that you need to get someone out of most situations. How does it feel?
Pretty good. Doesn't cut too much.
Some rescue sleds require skis and others don't. This tarp does not, and I actually don't recommend it because of the sharp edges on your skis and the discomfort to the patient. These bindings are going to have to be really padded a lot to not dig into some part of their body. Skis do provide structure, which can be a good thing, but it takes a lot to get the skis to function in that way in a wrap type of rescue tarp like this. One thing for sure is you want to pad the edges, and you can do that by offsetting the skins, or if you had a bigger set of skins for a smaller set of skis that you could overlap, those skins are going to pad the edges a little bit and prevent the tarp from getting cut. But for this system, you're just going to put the victim's skis or board on your back and hike them out. If you have a split board, that's going to be maybe the most ideal for a stretcher type of board, because you can remove those bindings and it's nice and flat for that application. If you really want to secure your patient in the rescue tarp, putting a harness on them is a really effective way to do that. That way you can pull on their center mass and get on side hills or go down. They're secured with a nice harness. These ski mountaineering style harnesses are made so that you don't have to pass it over your feet. You can just pass it around their hips and then up through their legs and attach at the top, near their belly button. And then you could connect a handle to that with a double link sling or something similar. So if you needed to move their body over a tree or through an icy section, you wanted to have another hand on, this would be your connection point that would be very secure to the person. If you have a sleeping pad of some kind, that can be really helpful for a number of reasons. It keeps the victim warm. It is going to pad the tarp, and so you can't have sharp against sharp or hard against hard that would make cuts in the tarp. And then it can also give the tarp a little bit of structure. So this is definitely worth its weight in gold. This is a 3/4 length, little bit closed cell foam, very low R value, but it is better than nothing. It can get holes in it, and this isn't something I'm going to carry every day, but maybe for certain applications I would have a pad with me as well.